he was winless. Jeff Gordon, he was winless throughout from 2008. He had winless seasons. 2014 was like a comeback year for Jeff. He won 4 races. I'm pretty sure he had his best average finish that year. It was like a comeback year for Jeff Gordon. And he fell victim to this format. Jeff Gordon had a fight with Brad Keselowski, and I don't blame him. Because that was his year that he would have won his 5th championship. Drivers getting desperate. You know what this format brings? It brings desperation to drivers. Kevin Harvick was in a desperate situation. Nearly costing Dale Jr. a victory at Talladega. The 2015 Winston 500 at Talladega. Dale Jr. was leading that race when that caution came out. When that last caution came out, he was literally in front of Joey Logano. But they decided to award the victory to Joey Logano, even though Dale Jr. literally won that race. Because he was in front of Joey Logano when that yellow came out. In 2014, Jeff Gordon was replaced by a driver who did not win a single race that season. And that's Ryan Newman. He didn't win a single race that season. Jeff Gordon did. He won 4 races that season. And that literally just slapped the guy right in the face. The guy that has 4 wins. The guy literally had 4 wins. He won the Ricard 400 in 2014. That was his final Ricard 400 win. And it literally just slapped him right in the face. This format literally does slaps the driver that has the best average finish. Just slaps him right in the face. Because I am sick and tired of it. I am. Not as a person, as a fan. As a guy that has been a NASCAR fan for years. I am beyond fed up with this format right now. NASCAR is a motorsport. And that format is a tournament. It is a tournament. It is a stick and ball tournament. It is not a motorsports tournament. Because it literally that format cost a driver to retire that tournament just literally made a driver quit. This made the driver leave the sport in 2016. And that driver was Carl Edwards. It was like the ultimate It was like the ultimate NASCAR screw job. It was Carl Edwards in 2016. If that playoff format was not implemented, Carl Edwards would not have left the sport. He would have stayed in that sport. He would have stayed in the sport for a little longer. Matter of fact, he would have won the championship. And don't get me wrong, I congratulate the drivers that won the championship in this format. But Steve Phelps yesterday, and Steve O'Donnell just announced that they're keeping this format. They're making tweaks of this format, but they're keeping the playoffs because they think that it's increasing ratings. It's not increasing ratings one bit. The ratings are going down. The ratings are going down under this format. The ratings are dropping under this playoff format. And I love this. And besides professional wrestling, I love NASCAR race. I'm speaking on behalf of it. I don't want this sport to become hated because of the playoffs, because of the format they wanted to keep. I don't want it to be the least popular because of the playoffs. The playoffs is a really big factor. The playoffs are really a huge factor when it comes to the ratings. The ratings are going down. They ain't going up. The ratings are dropping under this format. Drivers literally getting screwed. You're seriously going to keep a format, going to keep a playoff system that's been screwing drivers over. That's not even the fans don't like, but the drivers don't like it. The drivers can't stand. The drivers don't like the playoffs. Denny Hamlin just spoke his opinion about the playoffs. He spoke like at least 3 times about the playoffs. Brad Keselowski, he's fed up with the playoffs. I mean, you've seen his Twitter account. He said it's the final straw for the playoffs, and I agree with him. And I agree with Brad Keselowski. This playoff format is a joke. This format, it literally just implements the drivers who have the worst performances. Now, I'm not hating on the drivers who won the championships. He won the championship in this format. I'm hating the game. I really am hating the game. Christopher Bell, William Byron, Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson, 2 drivers, 2 of them, 2 young drivers got screwed out of the championship, forcing Christopher Bell to do a wall ride at Martinsville. He was forced to do it in this format. He was in desperation. And he walks away with no title. Kyle Larson, especially concerned about him. Had the Mexico 600. Because he literally just tried to make that race. But it was canceled due to rain. And he had to get a waiver just to get in the playoffs. And he had a good recovery this year. 6 wins, including the Ricard 400 win. And all of a sudden, he walks away with nothing. No champ. Best average finish. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell both had best average finishes. And they come up with absolutely nothing. That is completely insane. You're literally just going to keep a tournament. Keep a format that is specifically a tournament in a motorsport. It was specifically a stick and ball tournament in a motorsport. It's been implemented for 20 years. And it's lacking legitimacy. It has no legitimacy at all. This winning your in system, it lacks legitimacy. No legitimacy whatsoever. Two mediocre champions in 2 seasons. Ryan Blaney wasn't listed anywhere last season. Joey Logano wasn't listed anywhere that season either. And they walk away with titles. I mean, yes, I congratulate Joey Logano. I'm not hating on Joey Logano. He's a good driver. But I am really hating on this format. Playoffs, we don't need playoffs. Period. I mean, if Steve Phelps is so hell bent on keeping the playoffs, go back to the 2004 format. Go back to the 2005 format. I mean, yes, it's still playoffs, but those formats didn't lack legitimacy. This 16 driver tournament does lack legitimacy. A championship does not need to be decided by just one race. One race does not need to decide a champion. All 36 races should matter, not just one. Not just that one race at Phoenix. All 36 races should matter. All of them. Not one. Not the final championship race at Phoenix. Not the penultimate race at Martinsville. Just one. Just all the whole entire season should matter. That will make the driver that have worked hard the entire season. The season long. I'm not talking about the driver in the playoffs or the round of 8. The driver who did the driver who literally dominated the entire season. Literally just slaps him in the face. And it comes to just one race. Kevin Harvick. Kevin Harvick was the Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon are the two drivers that have been screwed the most of this one race system of Championship 4, decided by just that one race. Jeff Gordon and Kevin Harvick had best seasons. Kevin Harvick at 2020, he was dominant. He dominated that season. He had like a Jeff Gordon 1998 season, and all of a sudden he walks away with no championship. And he had the same best average finish as Jeff Gordon did in 1998, and he walks away with no title. And I mean, it's beyond panic time. It's beyond panic mode. We have to get rid of this format. This format does not need to be. This format doesn't need to stay in motorsports, period. Because it is a tournament. Because it literally just slaps the guy that had the best season in the face. We don't need playoffs. NASCAR does not need playoffs, period. This format is a complete joke. The championship should matter. All races should matter. Not just that one.